Hello, today we'll be making a simple variant of Chicagoan dish bowl pizza, but we're cheapskates and we're lazy asses, so we will not be cooking dough. Instead, excuse me, we'll be using these tartalettes. It will be mini pizzas for cheapskates and for lazy asses like we are. So we have the tartalettes here. First, what we need to do is put our oven on a maximum heat. For me it's 3, so it's and we have about this much butter left, so about this butter will be okay. And now we'll wait till it melts. So now our butter melted all over the pan. So now what we do, you can cut this cheese. You take not mozzarella but real cheese, normal cheese. This is Gouda cheese. You can slice it, for example, but we don't need to slice it even. We just can put it like that and leave it to melt a little on a maximum heat. Melt a little, like this. You can see it starts to melt in the bottom. Now what we do, we take a kettle or any source of water you can, and this is very important. Without water you're fucked. We need water. What you do is add water all over it, just a little bit. Just a little bit. A little bit. Okay. Now this is what you have. You have mixture of molten cheese and water. Cheese soup, and you turn it upside down all the time so it's even. Now what we do, we also get this ketchup or tomato sauce. You can have tomato pasta or ketchup. Add it onto a cheese and make sure that the cheese is all in one place. All in one place. I add ketchup. You can add tomato sauce or anything you want. And also important, you add salt. You add salt. I like a lot of salt. Some people like less. And now we have this soup made of cheese and ketchup. We try to turn it upside down so it melts evenly. And now at this point, when it melts, you can actually tasty. You can actually, maybe about 3 minutes later, you can turn the heat onto medium, but for now it's still 3. It's still 3 until this chunk of cheese melts. We'll wait for it. We'll wait for this hunk of cheese to melt. It's about now, maybe 1 minute later. You can squash it to make it more melty. About now. You see, we got this soup made of cheese. Now the heat turns onto middle, onto 2. Yeah. Okay. Now while this is cooking, we can have a half of tomato for our portion, or any amount of tomato you want. For this, we can have also some sausage if you want. Some sausages, about maybe 3 pieces of sausage. And what we can also have is basil. Where's basil? Oops. Okay, so some, oh, that's a lot of basil. A lot of basil, a lot of sausage, a lot of sausage, a lot of basil here, and some, maybe let's slice them even tinier, some tomatoes. You can add it here, like this, some tomato juice here, right? And now let's mix it all. That's pretty much a lot of basil here that I added, but my hands were shaky. So this is what you have. Yeah, now the heat goes absolutely. Now, as you can see, the heat has been turned down immediately after you all do all this stuff. So now we have this cheese soup here with some ingredients. To be frank, I don't like ingredients. I often just eat cheesy soup. So now we take, for example, this tartalette. We get this soup, get it right here. You know what? We need a spoon, right? One moment. We need a spoon. You get a spoon, you fill this with cheesy soup. Cheesy soup with sausage and tomatoes and a lot of basil leaves. You fill it up and you don't eat it right now. You wait for it to cool a little bit. Here are some cheesy snots here, you know. And these, my friends, are basically Chicagoan dish bowl pizza tartalette for cheapskates and for lazy asses like us. And we wait for it a little bit to cool. So this once again is about the Chicagoan pizza tartalette for cheapskates and cheap asses and lazy asses that you can have in a ready-made tartalette with cheese, sausage, basil and tomatoes in it. So now we wait for it to cool again. Here are some cheesy snots again, cheesy snots, and now I think it's quite cool. Now let's taste it. Yeah, a little bit too much basil, but that's the cheapskate Chicagoan dish bowl pizza that you can make yourself in the form of tartalettes. If you want a bigger pizza, you could just buy a bigger tartalette for like plate sized. Thank you. Bon appetit. Mamma mia.